And we've got a cold and cloudy day today. Clouds increasing, not bad. Today's your day to get stuff done because tomorrow you will not be able to get stuff done. We'll have a look at that forecast to get you out the door today. Coming up.
And program is raising money one mattress at a time.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday. It's February the 17th. And tomorrow, our producers and I, and even you, Elise, we were kind of joking. Tomorrow is going to be like the Chris Warner show because the snow is going to start before we go on the air. And I'm pretty sure that most of you at home, that's probably going to be the thing you're most interested in. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you'll want Elise to sing or one of our producers to tap dance. We have folks here with multiple skills, so that's a possibility too. But we are prepared one way or the other. And today, though, is your action day to get stuff done. If you didn't do it over the weekend, you got what you've got today, and then that's it. You're out of time. So let's start with a look outside, shall we? Downtown Pittsburgh, and again, the scene, it looks great. In 24 hours, it will not. But roads are clear, skies are partly cloudy to mostly clear out there, and clouds will increase as we head through the morning. KDOT camera south of Pittsburgh on 69 looks pretty good so far as well. We did get some melting done from our last round of snow. Melting this time around, though, may be an issue. We'll talk about that a little later as well. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking back to the east looks great. You can see the roads, you can see the median, and take it in, because you won't see any of these things as we head through the day tomorrow. Winter storm warning. So again, if you're just waking up this morning, last night you went to bed, there were some advisories and some watches out there. About 3:30, 3:40 this morning, that changed. It's winter storm warnings across the entire region through Wednesday morning. So again, today, your action day. Now's the time. We have, at this point, really less than 24 hours before the system gets here. If you need to get something, you do not need to speed to the store. You do not need to get into a boxing match with your neighbors over supplies, but you want to make sure you are prepared because you will probably not be able to get out for at least the next couple of days. Today, though, again, partly cloudy skies to start. Clouds thicken up pretty quickly. We're going to be a little below normal out there, so a little bit on the chilly side, but otherwise we are dry and we are good enough to get stuff done as we head through our Monday. Temperatures this morning, pretty chilly, upper teens to right around 20 degrees, and you factor in even a light breeze, and it brings those wind chills down in some cases, like Yates Center. Feels like it's 9. Same in Independence, feels like 10, Iola, Nevada, and Stockton. So through today, upper 30s, maybe some low 40s, clouds increasing, but again, staying dry. Snow doesn't really start to work into the area until after midnight. We're going to go over the latest on that snow, how long it lasts, what we're looking at this point in terms of accumulations and things you need to know about the dangerous cold that's on the way as well, here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Thanks. Well, an investigation is ongoing after reports of gunfire on West 5th Street in Joplin early Saturday morning. The witnesses downtown say countless rounds were fired, one saying they heard more than 15. Officers in the area also reported hearing the gunshots on scene. Joplin police officers gathered shell casings around the intersection of 5th and Joplin Avenue. The police were unable to locate the suspects, although they were described as 2 males dressed in all black. Police did not find any evidence of injury. Bullet holes were located in nearby vehicles. Officers are now in the process of gathering video camera footage. A man is in custody after the fatal shooting of a 22-year-old in Carthage. Elijah Hardy was located in Galena, Kansas, and taken into custody. He is charged with homicide. The shooting took place in the 300 block of West Vine in Carthage. On scene, first responders performed life-saving measures on a 22-year-old male before he was rushed to Mercy Carthage. However, the young man, whose name has not been disclosed, died from his injuries. And 2 people are injured after a house fire in Sarcoxie, Missouri. Firefighters battled what was reported as a 2-story structure with flames. Firefighters also had to deal with tough conditions with slick roads and a wind chill of 2 degrees. The house was deemed a total loss. No firefighters were reported as injured. And of course, to be the first to see breaking news, weather and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, the McDonald County High School Band Program held a fundraiser selling mattresses at a lower discounted price. KOAM's Mitch Adams has more.
At the end of every night, you most likely end up in the same spot. A good mattress can make the difference between healthy sleep and waking up on the wrong side of the bed.
A lot of people are always looking for a mattress. A lot of people are looking to replace their mattress every few years. So the money's going to help us out because we're obviously fundraising for the band program.
Some fundraisers sell items like cookie dough or trash bags, but after hearing about the mattress sales from other band directors, the band decided to give it a go.
We saw them at a music directors conference, and we decided to just kind of go and give it a try. And it worked for us last year really well. We earned about $5,000 in just one day, so we'll see if we can keep it rolling.
One band student told us about how this way of raising money has impacted their program positively and how it's helping students pay for a trip to Chicago in April.
It's helped us a lot because for the big trip, it's expensive in Chicago and we need a lot of money, and mattresses are expensive. It's $1,000, and the scaling of how much we get is a lot if you really think about it. And it's really helpful. I'm almost done fundraising, and we need 1,000 per person, which is a lot, and it's really helpful.
In McDonald County, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Well, apart from helping fund a trip to Chicago, the money raised will also go towards buying and repairing instruments and paying contest fees. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The U.S. Agriculture Department grants a conditional license for bird flu vaccine production. Plus, thousands of federal workers lose their jobs while more are at risk as the Trump administration plans to shrink the federal workforce. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Monday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning. The Agriculture Department has issued a conditional license to a company to produce a bird flu vaccine for chickens. The vaccine maker is Zoetis. A company spokesperson says its scientists began updating its existing avian flu vaccine several years ago. And last Friday, the government gave the company a conditional license. The company previously developed vaccines for avian flu to protect California condors in 2023. Now, other countries already vaccinate their birds against the virus, but the United States has taken a different approach and has tried to eradicate avian flu instead. Now, that strategy may be shifting. Workers have killed more than 150 million birds infected or exposed to the virus since the latest outbreak in 2022. Now, that has led to higher prices for eggs and an egg shortage around the country. Well, today, thousands of federal workers are without a job, while thousands more are worried they could be next. The Trump administration continues to move full steam ahead with efforts to shrink the federal workforce and reduce spending. Some of the workers hit hard by the cuts include military veterans, which make up roughly 30% of the federal workforce. Jared Hill has more from New York.
Nearly a month back in office, President Donald Trump with a victory lap at Sunday's Daytona 500.
Our country is doing well again.
Praise from some in the sold-out crowd as the president and ally Elon Musk continue full throttle in reshaping the federal government.
I think he's doing good things. It's just going to take time.
But steep cuts in the federal workforce are leaving thousands of employees on edge. At least 1,300 people have been laid off at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. More than 1,000 employees cut from the Department of Veterans Affairs. And thousands of probationary workers across multiple departments received termination notices last week. Among them, Chelsea Milburn, a Navy veteran based in Nevada, fired from the Department of Education.
Government reform can be a good thing, but it's not good to take broad sweeping actions that don't take into account people's lives, their performance, or, their service to this country.
California-based former IRS worker Jordan Solis was one of nearly 70,000 to take a voluntary buyout with the promise of full pay and benefits through September.
It's a treat employees like this and to say, hey, either take this off for now or, potentially get laid off later, that was very disrespectful to most of the federal workforce.
Those job cuts now being challenged in the courts, part of at least 70 lawsuits the Trump administration is already facing. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Also today, Secretary of State Marco Rubio continues his Middle East trip with meetings in Saudi Arabia a day after President Trump told reporters he hopes to also head there to discuss a Russia-Ukraine peace deal with Russian President Vladimir Putin soon. Now, Sunday, Rubio met with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem. During a joint news conference, both leaders expressed support for President Trump's, quote, bold vision for Gaza. The president has said he wants to take over Gaza and relocate the Palestinians. That's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, taking a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, you can see things are okay. Clouds are already beginning to increase, and there is snow to our north. It will not stay up there for much longer. We've got less than 24 hours before snow rolls in. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back.
Welcome back. We have Lori Horton in the studio with us this morning, and she's here to teach us how to make some mini pies. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, just in time. This is probably some things that you might have already in the cabinet.
Yes.
Pretty simple list of ingredients this morning, but as I think it's been really drilled home, if you want to do this, get to the grocery store today.
Yes.
These may be some ingredients that are still left on the shelves too. Maybe they haven't been cleared out, but we're going to start with some things that you can make from scratch, or you can buy pre-made. So you can make this kind of as simple or as complicated as you want it to be.
Okay, awesome.
The base on it is, I'm going to use a puff pastry, and that is just my favorite right now. I'm kind of loving the puff pastry. You could do this with pie dough, even pizza crust, whatever your favorite is, and from scratch or pre-made. I kind of have done a little bit of a test between the frozen puff pastry sheets as opposed to the refrigerated. And honestly, I think I like the refrigerated a little bit better. It's a little easier to work with. It's got a little softer texture, and you don't have to do that weight of thawing and hoping you don't overthaw it where it gets kind of gummy. So this works really, really well. It comes pre-rolled, so it's very simple to work with, and this is not a complicated ingredient to find. It's at any of your grocery stores, whatever your favorite. So we just are going to unroll this, and we're going to lay it out across our our cupcake pan. But before we lay it on there, we do want to grease it. So I'm going to make it very simple and use our baking spray. You can actually just do this with cooking spray. This isn't as important as some of our recipes where we want to make sure it's the baking spray. But get it in each one of those cups, because we're going to fill every one. And make sure you don't leave the sides.
Yes, that's important.
Very important. We don't want it to stick in there on those edges. But this makes it so nice because you can take that paper, flip it over onto that cupcake pan, and then just peel that away. What we're going to end up doing is actually making 12 little pieces out of this puff pastry dough. So to do that simply, I'm going to take a pizza cutter, and I'm just going to go between the little openings on my pan. And this doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to adjust these a little bit before we start filling them and baking them. We just want to get them into 12 halfway even pieces. And then once you get those cut, you may have to go off the edges just a little bit here. Be very careful if you have a decent pizza cutter. Mine is not. It's just for sweet stuff. But you'll take those apart, and then you want to lay them kind of down in each one of those little cavities. Now, a little bit of kind of a pro tip on this, if you want to get fancy, is you can actually take a second cupcake pan, and we want to spray the bottom of it and actually use that to just press down in the bottom. And that works really well if you're doing these for a big crowd and you really want them to look all nice and perfect. That works great, and you can absolutely do that. It doesn't really dirty the second one too badly. You just have to wash that bottom. But I'm just going to press them down in there nice and even. If you don't have it fully filled either, that's okay. You'll see, I'll show you when we get done, a couple, they still bake nicely even if that pastry isn't perfectly in every little cavern. But once you get those all nice and in there, we're going to move on to our filling. And when we come back, we'll kind of talk about our options on that, how we close all these up and how long they'll bake.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thanks, Lori. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Oh boy. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We're going to back this thing up all the way back. We're going to go over everything we're expecting for our snowfall. Sometimes, stuff comes up and you got to do what you got to do. All right, today's your action day. As we've mentioned before, if you've got stuff you need to get, as I told you to, do not floor it to the store. Do not get into some kind of boxing match with your neighbors at the store. Get what you need calmly and quietly and go home and then stay there. Winter storm warnings, the entire region through Wednesday morning, and that is because we are expecting just a lot of snow. On top of all of that, we have dangerously cold temperatures associated with this. So I want to go back to, we're looking at a system and a setup similar to what we saw about 14 years ago. So by the way, this is going to be the most snow some of us have seen since 14 years ago, which would be February of 2011. You may remember the Valentine's Day snowstorm of 2011. We had thunder snow. We had anywhere from 18 to 20 inches of this stuff. And I remember at that time driving through Joplin, because thankfully my vehicle could. Don't say that doesn't mean it's a good idea, but it could make it. There were a number of abandoned vehicles on streets, and that was only in Joplin, okay? This is not going to be something you drive in. We have cold weather advisories and extreme cold warnings. What that boils down to is dangerously cold temperatures and wind chills well below zero for an extended period of time. We've got the future track. Now today, again, if you need to get something, there's something you just thought of, you're like, oh shoot, I didn't get that over the weekend, I need to get it. Now's the time. You will not be able to do it tomorrow. Clouds increase today, will be mostly cloudy and then eventually just straight up cloudy, and it's going to be a bit on the chilly side, below normal temperatures, but not that bad. Once we get past midnight, here comes the snow. And eventually, it initially starts somewhat light, but as the morning progresses, that snow picks up. We're going to be dealing with two things as well. We'll have gusty northeast winds pushing 25 miles an hour, or even greater in some cases, and we're going to have heavy snow, which is going to lead to reduced visibilities. I also want to point out, depending on when the snow starts for school districts, I am sure that 99% of you have already made your plan for tomorrow. You're probably already canceled. You just haven't officially announced it yet. If you haven't, I'm telling you right now, if you go out tomorrow morning, roads may be all right. But if you send kids to school tomorrow morning, I'm telling you there is a 99% chance you will not be able to get them back home by the afternoon. That's how quickly things are going to deteriorate, all right? So just don't. Nobody should be going anywhere tomorrow unless it's an absolute emergency. The snow really picks up through the late morning into the afternoon. We've got snow across the area. Temperatures dropping through the day, by the way. That's why we have these cold weather advisories and extreme cold warnings, because it is going to get colder and colder and colder as we head overnight and into Wednesday. Wednesday, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, could get some flurries here or there, and temperatures single digits for most of us by the time we reach the noon hour. It is not going to be warm at all, which again goes back to the cold weather advisories and those extreme cold warnings. So here's a look at the snow totals. And in all honesty, they're probably going to go up, not down, over the next few hours. I think they're going to be a little higher, maybe not much more than where they are, but I think they're going to go up. So at this point, we're probably looking on average anywhere from 10 to 20 inches of snow, with the heaviest right through here on this little line. Okay? Again, I can't emphasize enough, don't go out tomorrow. Do what you need to do today. Do not go outside tomorrow unless it's an absolute emergency. You need to stay off the roads because you're going to get stuck and then you're going to have a bigger problem. All right, today, partly cloudy through the morning. 17, or teens to start, upper 20s by 11 a.m. Our highs today, upper 30s, low 40s. Back into the upper teens tonight. And again, tomorrow, early highs, upper teens, low 20s. And then temperatures drop. The snow, heavy snow, blowing snow, leading to reduced visibilities. Dangerously cold temperatures through at least Friday morning, that may be a little warmer. In fact, take a look. If this holds next week, we're going to be near 60 a week after this major snowstorm. So that's the 4 states weather at its finest. But we got to get through the next few days first. Let's check your forecast. I'm going to send it over to Lisa now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, a national poll at the University of Michigan finds 1 in 6 parents support teens getting non-surgical cosmetic procedures with parental consent. Now, those procedures include treatments like laser hair removal, chemical skin peels, teeth whitening, and dermal fillers. Doctors say it's important for parents and teens to be well informed about what the procedure will actually achieve and if it's worth the risk. New research finds antidepressants like Prozac can also protect against serious infections and sepsis. Scientists at the Salk Institute say the drugs can regulate the immune system and defend against infectious disease. They believe the findings could lead to new drug treatments and boost global preparedness for future pandemics. And a review of over 40 billion insurance claims at the University of Washington shows type 2 diabetes is the most expensive health condition in the U.S. at $144 billion. Now, it was followed by musculoskeletal disorders, oral disorders, health disease, and urinary diseases. Emergency department care had the fastest growth. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, Watered Gardens holds its grand opening for a brand new marketplace.
And take a look outside. We're looking good so far this morning, but here in just a little bit of time, things are going to be considerably different. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Southeast Kansas Humane Society gets a few extra helping hands from Pitt State.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Elise Snowe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Monday. It's February the 17th. And we are counting down to 0 hour here pretty much.
Yes.
Getting close to a significant winter storm. More than likely, speaking with Doug through the weekend, this is probably going to be the most significant winter storm we've seen in 14 years across the area. And 14 years ago was the Valentine's Day snowstorm of 2011. That crippled this region and buried us anywhere from 18 to 20 inches of snow, and this is going to be right up that same path. But we still have some time to prepare.
Yes,
so have you prepared?
You know what? Just as good as I can. We'll be here, so I mean, time
Yeah,
will tell.
that's and in all honesty, you know, I've spoken with our team here. We've spoken all together. We're all coming in tomorrow with a few extra items on the off chance that by the time we're done with our shift, we're not able to leave, and maybe the evening folks can't get in. That's not to say it'll happen, but it's a possibility. You could see us all day tomorrow.
Yeah, that
it's a possibility.
Shows how serious that we're taking
it. Yeah, that's
that's
it too. We are making those plans, and you need to be planning to stay at home. Let's get you through today. If you are needing to get out, get some stuff, now's the time. Quick look downtown Pittsburgh. Sun is rising. We got those mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, and look at those colors. Something's up. It looks too pretty.
Hello. Hey. I don't know.
Colors. There's Elise, and there's the sunrise again. Oh my, it's wait until tomorrow, man, I'm telling you. But it looks great. Roads are clear. Take a good snapshot of this because the roads are clear. In less than 24 hours, they will not look this nice again. At MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line in Joplin, another great shot of that sunrise this morning. Winter storm warnings, the entire area now. This changed at roughly 3:30 this morning. All across the region, our entire viewing area through Wednesday morning. So again, today, your action day. You are less now than 24 hours from a significant winter storm across the area. For this area, I mean, you folks at home know anything over 6 or 7 inches of snow can really slow things down. We are talking upwards of 10 to 20 inches of snow tomorrow, okay? For today, though, getting out the door, getting stuff you need, taking care of business. Partly cloudy to start. Clouds will increase. Temperatures will be chilly today, a little below normal, but not that bad, and winds will be out of the east at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. So today, again, a great day to get out. Upper teens to about 20 right now as we start. And with that light breeze here and there, it's brought the wind chills down just a wee bit. Feels, well, okay, I mean, it's still very cold. 6 in Nevada, 7 in Fort Scott. We'll have highs upper 30s, low 40s, clouds increasing through the day. Snow doesn't arrive until after midnight tonight, but when it arrives, it will arrive. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Thanks. Well, people wrap around the block as Watered Gardens Ministries held its grand opening for its new marketplace on 220 West 2nd in Joplin. The marketplace, while being a thrift store, also functions as an employment program for guests and partners of the ministry. Music and snacks were available for people to enjoy while they shopped Saturday.
It's taken a phenomenal amount of work to get the store off the ground. We've priced like over 10,000 items, so we're going to have people going through clothing, hanging them, pricing them, putting stuff out on the floor, doing customer service, working at our cash registers, making sure the store is tidy and neat and presentable.
The ministry's workshop goods will also be on sale at the market. And James River Church in Joplin put together care packages to give out to Joplin area homeless encampments and nursing homes. The outreach is a part of James River's monthly Saturday Serve, where members of the congregation participate in various service projects for the community. Items in the packages include hygiene products, blankets, snacks, and a Bible.
Serving the needs of our community at James River Church is a really big deal to us. We want to be the hands and feet of Jesus, and so we're thankful for the Sundays and the Wednesday services we have week after week and the thousands of people that are a part of that. But we know this, we also want to be out in the community making a difference. We want to see poverty decline. We want to see crime decline.
Any spare packages were donated to Watered Gardens Ministries. And members of Alpha Gamma Delta's Epsilon Kappa chapter volunteered at Southeast Kansas Humane Society. The sorority sisters did tasks like make puppy pads, walk dogs, play with puppies, and the Humane Society's new three-legged cat named Captain Hook. The event is a part of Alpha Gamma Delta's National Week of Service.
I really just like getting to spend time with my sisters while also doing good for the community. It makes me feel good to give back to the community in various ways, whether that's with people, with animals. It's just a very good, diverse experience that we all get to experience together.
The Epsilon Kappa chapter also volunteered at the Lord's Diner and the Salvation Army. Art Forms Gallery is wanting to help artists innovate and centering their focus on art that makes them happy. Now, it also helps artists choose what skills they want to develop throughout 2025. The workshop also focuses on how art forms and the Pittsburgh art community can expand the art scene in the city.
I really like to be part of an artist community. I want to talk to other creative people. I want to share stories about, sort of where we're finding successes, where we're meeting obstacles, and kind of think through that. Sometimes I really need an outside perspective.
The class also dives in on what you need to join the business side of art as well. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Workers at an Amazon warehouse voted against the chance to join a union. And we're tracking snow chances for tomorrow. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. In Consumer Watch this morning, YouTube TV and Paramount have struck a deal to keep all of Paramount's channels on the streaming platform. Now, just days ago, an agreement appeared to be in limbo after contract talks deteriorated due to carriage fees. Now, in a statement, YouTube TV said it was happy the deal was reached to carry Paramount's offerings, which include Showtime, Nickelodeon, and CBS. Well, Amazon workers at a warehouse near Raleigh, North Carolina rejected a proposal to unionize over the weekend. More than 2/3 of the facility's 2,000 plus workers voted against the proposal, which was launched by Carolina Amazonians United for Solidarity and Empowerment, or CAUSE. Representatives from CAUSE said they were already bracing for the loss ahead of the vote, which ended on Saturday. An Amazon spokesperson said it is glad the workers chose to maintain a direct relationship with the company. And that's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got an alert day tomorrow. As for today, if there's something you need to get done, now's the time to do it because you can see the roads, okay? This is our camera downtown Pittsburgh. You can see the roadways. You'll be able to see them all day today. Great view of that sunrise, though. Looks absolutely gorgeous this morning. KDOT camera 69 just south of Pittsburgh. It is warning folks already not to travel tomorrow. And you absolutely do not want to. You will not be able to, in all honesty. MoDOT camera 20th and range line, the sunrise, make it a little harder to see the road, but I assure you it's still out there for the time being. Winter storm warnings across the entire area through Wednesday morning. And so today, again, your action day. Make sure you're getting ready. Make sure you get what you need because you may not be able to get out of your home for the next 2, possibly 3 days across the area. We're going to have an in-depth look at your forecast here in just a moment. We're also going to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, but first, here's what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Tony Nicopol. Coming up on CBS Mornings, another edition of Beg Knows America. David's got an update on Trooper the dog, rescued after being abandoned during a hurricane in Florida last year. Also, actor Brandon Sklenar will join us to talk about the new season of the mega hit Yellowstone prequel, 1923. All that and more coming up on CBS Mornings.
All right, time for some Monday birthdays here in the 4 states. We're going to start in Carthage with Timber Hayslip celebrating birthday number 12. Happy birthday.
And in Neosho, a happy 12th birthday to Caden Cook. It says happy birthday from Grandma and Grandpa.
And in Liberal, Sadie Meadows celebrating birthday number 16 today. Says we love you from Mima, Papa Gary, and Grandma Leanne.
And a happy 24th birthday to Andrew Schweigert in Jasper.
And in Chanute, Kimberly Kraft celebrating birthday number 42 today. Happy birthday.
And happy 47th birthday to Mike Rogers in Iola. It says happy birthday, love Diane and Darius.
And we have Mark Nading celebrating birthday number 63 with happy birthday love coming from your family.
And a happy 64th birthday to Lola Taylor in Fairland. It says happy birthday from your Christian family and friends.
And Gail Irwin celebrating birthday number 68 with love coming from your family.
And happy birthday to Linda Garrison in Columbus.
And we've got Jax Leet celebrating a birthday today. Says happy birthday, Bob. Love Mom, Dad, and Ellie.
And happy birthday to Mandy Maggie in Galena.
And our list continues with Leah Brassert celebrating birthday number 82 in Columbus.
And last but not least, happy birthday to Lucas Bramblett.
And of course, if you'd like to celebrate with us, Elise has some information for you.
Yes, go ahead and submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen and to also include the date of your celebration as well.
And very important to do that. Now, we got something else that's very important to talk about this morning, and it will probably be just nothing but weather tomorrow, because unless World War III breaks out, I think most of you folks at home are going to be a little more interested in what's happening outside and probably get some nice reminders of why you don't want to go anywhere tomorrow. Today is your action day. If you need to get some supplies, you need to get some milk, the bread, the egg. Well, okay, eggs are a little pricey these days. Maybe some kind of substitute is a good idea. First off, don't floor it to the store, okay? Second, do not engage in physical fights or any kind of fight with people at the store, okay? You've got time. I'm sure they've got supplies. You'll be all right. We're going to make it through this together. Now, I'll be honest. It has been approximately 14 years since the last time we saw a storm bring us this much snow. It was the Valentine's Day snowstorm in 2011. It brought us 18 to 20 inches of snowfall. This one looks to be on the same level. It's just a few days later than the one was 14 years ago. So our impacts high from the snow, cold, and wind. All of these tie in together. We've got heavy amounts of snow. We already mentioned we're going to get a lot of snow. The dangerously cold temperatures, and then with the wind, that goes into dangerously cold wind chills and into dangerous issues with the snow in terms of blowing snow, leading to reduced visibilities out there. So we got to contend with that. Winter storm warnings across the entire region now. At 3:30 this morning, that's when this changed. We still had some watches and advisories out there. All of us winter storm warnings, and these stretch all the way up through Kansas City, points north down into parts of Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma. Okay, so it's not just us. It's a large area of winter storm warnings. Then We have these, and again, this replaced wind chill warnings and advisories and stuff like that. So we have these colors now. I kind of like this color. I don't like that one, and really that one's actually worse. We have cold weather advisories in this dark blue color, and then this regular blue is an extreme cold warning. And what this all boils down to is we're talking not just temperatures but wind chills well below zero over the next few days. And I said the next few days, not the next few hours, the next few days, which is the other concern of the snow not melting very quickly. So today, if there's something you need to do, today's the day to do it. Here we are at noon, upper 20s, low 30s. It's going to be a little below normal, but we're otherwise going to be all right. Clouds increasing, eventually just cloudy skies out there. We'll have a light easterly breeze, nothing too bad. But after midnight, snow begins to work into the area. Here we are at 2 a.m. We've got snow mixed in out there. You could get flurries outside of where the future track is showing the snow. But otherwise, snow begins to work into the area as we go into early Tuesday morning. Snow continues to spread out there. So now, for most school districts, I've mentioned it all morning. I'm sure 99% of you are already planning to cancel tomorrow. You're just waiting to put out that official word, and that's the way to go. But for any school district that for some reason is scratching your head going, oh, maybe we could, you could go out tomorrow morning and check your routes and be like, okay, no, it's fine. We can send the kids to school. And you're probably right. In some locations, depending on when the snow starts, you may be able to get kids to school. I guarantee you, you will not be able to get them home by the afternoon. So don't use that as your judgment. Don't use the morning road conditions as your guide for whether or not you should cancel classes tomorrow. You need to just go ahead and do it because there's going to be no way to get kids home by the afternoon because this snow continues to spread across the area and it will be heavy at times. And again, with those gusty northeast winds, as the winds increase, we are looking at reduced visibilities, if not significantly reduced visibilities from blowing snow and near blizzard-like conditions. So let me go over this with you. It is going to be potentially very dangerous, if not possibly life-threatening, to try and travel at all tomorrow. So unless it is an emergency, do not go out on the roadways tomorrow. It is not going to be safe. It is not going to be a good idea. And that snow is going to last anywhere from 12 to 15, maybe 16 hours of snow. Then after that, look at these temperatures starting the day on Wednesday. Temperatures fall through the day, by the way, tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we're barely going to make the teens, if that, with flurries as we head through the day as well. So how much snow? It's a lot of snow, okay? Look at these totals. Anywhere at this point, and I'm telling you now, these amounts will probably go up in the next few hours, not come down. We are looking at anywhere from 9 to potentially 20 inches of snow across the region with this central core here. This is where the heaviest snow is going to be as we head through the next 24 hours or so. So again, if you don't have to travel tomorrow, please just don't. Stay home. We're going to have another look at your forecast and the news you need to know here in just a moment. And when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., we're going to have some tips on how you can take better care of your pet's teeth for Pet Dental Health Month.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Elijah Hardy is in custody after the fatal shooting of a 22-year-old man in Carthage. The shooting took place in the 300 block of West Vine in Carthage. Despite life-saving measures from first responders, the young man died from his injuries. Hardy was tracked to Galena, Kansas, and taken into custody. He is now charged with homicide. Well, Joplin police are investigating reports of gunfire on West 5th Street in Joplin early Saturday morning. Police and witnesses say at least more than 15 rounds were counted. Shell casings were collected around the intersection of 5th and Joplin Avenue. No one was injured, but bullet holes were located in nearby vehicles. Police were unable to locate the suspects, but they were described as two males dressed in all black. And 2 people are injured after a house fire in Sarcoxie, Missouri. Firefighters not only had to battle the flames of a 2-story home, but slick roads and bitterly cold temperatures. The house was deemed a total loss. No firefighters were reported as injured. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And for today, if you've got things you need to do, your last chance to do it is going to be today. Mostly cloudy skies, upper 30s, low 40s, east breeze at 5 to 10. Cloudy skies through the evening. After midnight, the snow begins to work in. Northeast winds gusting to 25, upper teens tonight. Upper teens, low 20s for our highs early Tuesday. Temperatures falling through the day. On alert day, heavy snow. 10 to 20 inches of snow is likely at this point. We'll then drop down about 0. And we're bitterly cold, dangerously cold as we head closer to the weekend, which is why we may not see any kind of melting take place until the weekend. So for parents and stuff and certain businesses, just be prepared to have schools canceled for several days. Be prepared to not be able to get out for several days because it's going to be too cold for anything to melt.
All right. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making Mary Todd Lincoln's presidential cake in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, a few organizers from the Medical Loan Closet of Joplin join us in the studio to talk about their annual bake sale.
And speaking of baking, Lori Horton's going to be back in the studio to finish up her mini pies, which they smell amazing. However, that is going to wrap it up for us for now. We will see you back here tomorrow morning at, oh boy, exciting time of 5 a.m.
And we'll, of course, see you today at noon.